Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Just thought I'd do a video here of Google's latest image model. It's Imagen 3. It's not out to the general public yet, but fortunately I'm a Google tester. So I just signed up for that. It's nothing fancy really. Anybody can do it, and it does give you some early access occasionally to some of Google's AI products. I mean, I think some of their other stuff too. But it was just a cool opportunity. I've seen people kind of doing threads and stuff on Reddit where people are sharing different prompts, and then they are showing the images or whatever. So I just thought people might be interested in checking it out. It's kind of one of the latest and greatest. I do think it's pretty high quality. So I'm going to bring you through some different prompts that I've gathered, and then talk a little bit about just go through the app and show you what it's all about. Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to take a look at the latest AI text to image generation model from Google. It's called Imagen 3. It's pretty good. Tested it a little bit so far myself. The images are quite good. I've been fortunate to be part of Google's trusted tester program, so this model is not out yet for everyone, but if you are part of the program, you can get some early access to some of their new AI tools. I just thought there seems to be a demand for the model that people are interested in seeing how it performs. So I'm going to walk you through that today, show you a little bit about the tool itself, and then run some prompts through it. So let's get into it. Let's see. All right. So here we go. Over here, you can, this was an image I generated just before. It was kind of a sort of a fantasy image I was working on. You can start with this. You can just see what Google comes up with for you. The classic "I'm feeling lucky," where the AI will just come up with a prompt for you. The neat part about this that I found are these little drop downs. Well, that's kind of freaky, where you can change by it just gives you some ideas to change your prompt, which is kind of interesting. So we can maybe go to mesmerizing, and then how about reality bending? I don't know. And let's try sensory trickery. Sure, right? But it's kind of neat. So if you do one of your own prompts, it'll maybe give you some options to refine it or to make a different prompt. I just thought that was pretty cool, especially if this is. Oh, that's actually quite neat. Sort of like an alien flower. Interesting. But if you're not like a big text to image prompt person, it's certainly going to give you some ideas and make it easier. And I'd say that's one of the strengths of this is that it's much easier to use than the other image models that I've used in the past. I'm a pretty good prompt engineer when it comes to like getting ChatGPT to write code or to write, uh, documents of any kind, blog posts or books and things. But when it comes to images, I've typically been terrible with like the Dali models and the Mid Journey models, but this one, doesn't seem to be quite as picky. You can get some pretty good images out of it without having, really incredible prompts. As you can see down here, we can go over the interface a little bit. This just allows you to copy your prompt if you want to save it. Maybe you did change some of these and it's different than the prompt you had before, or you were just playing around and it turned out pretty good. You wanted to keep it. You can just do this to kind of clear. That's going to start over. Obviously, that was the create button, and it's the if there's no prompt, it's the I'm feeling lucky button. I find that so interesting. Down here, it gives you a little bit more of an idea of things that it thinks you might want to add that would be interesting. So that's also really good, really helpful for the kind of beginner prompter. And you can just hit more and it'll give you some different ones to check out. So, I mean, I think it's super beginner friendly, that's for sure. Here you can edit history of images. It'll kind of keep them there. I'm not sure that's working super well. I haven't seen any in there yet when I've been using the model, but and you've got settings. You really can't do much here. It just has best quality because you're kind of testing that model, which is fine. That's what you're here for. But then it does have the seed. And so if you don't know what a seed is, you can use this in any type of AI language model. And what it's going to do is allow you to go back to this later. So you could copy that, write it down, just go off and create a bunch more images and then say, okay, that seed and that prompt created this image here. If you put the seed back in and do the same prompt, you're going to get pretty much the same image. Maybe not exactly, but a lot closer than you would without the seed. And so that's what the seed does. It sort of like narrows the focus and it's going to give you a certain kind of result from the AI. It's called inference, when the AI model is creating an output for you. And so oftentimes, you've probably experienced this if you've played with any of the AIs. You could give ChatGPT a prompt to write a blog post, and then you could do it again, later, or right after, the next day, whenever, and you won't get quite the same blog post, which is in some ways, I think, cool and good, and shows some creativity, but in other ways can be really annoying if you're just trying to refine and you already really liked what you had. That's kind of that. Yeah. Oh, it does create extra images. I'm sorry, I'm spacing out here. So in this way, the way I have it arranged here, I did that. So it does a feature image, and then it leaves the other ones. So these are some of the other images it created from that prompt. I believe it was the same prompt, most likely. Or we could do the kind of fourplex here. So maybe we can stick with this for now. So some stuff I wrote down about prompts for you. Subject plus style plus details plus format of the output is a pretty good basic prompt structure. And a prompt is just what you write in here. It's the instructions you give, the text you put into this little box when you're trying to get an image out. So that's all a prompt is. It's another way of saying, talk to the AI. This is how I'm going to talk to the language model or the AI that I'm working with. You can, use different things like aspect ratio. If you know what that is, that has to do with like portrait, landscape, right? Landscape's more of a longer, wider. Portrait's more of an upright, rectangular model, square, or widescreen if you want really like almost like a movie screen type prompt. And then color and tone is another thing you can use. A lot of these are just photography terms as well, and it makes obvious sense. You're basically making pictures here, not videos yet. I don't have access to that. I wish I did. It does have, as you can see here real quick, video effects is their text to video model that's coming out, like OpenAI Sora. Music FX, I do have access to that. If you want me to do a video about that, say something in the comments. I'd love to get some comments. I know I'm new, but it would be cool. And then the text model is, this is just, yeah, it's just another model that I don't even know what this one does actually. So yeah, if you want me to check that one out, I can do that too. I'm not quite sure what that is. That's the video model. It's just, you can go through and see some stuff that it's done just to give you a little preview. It's supposed to be quite good. I obviously haven't been able to mess with it myself, so I couldn't tell you. Let's get into some prompts here. What do I have? Here we go. Now, it does have the rules. Google's pretty strict. It's got a little better than it was before when it first came out with Gemini, but yeah, you can't really use people's names or brands or anything like that. It really just will give you a hard time. I can show you that later. But here's a classic kind of prompt here, detailed in the style of a watercolor painting, a majestic lion, including fur detail. And then here it's giving it some more instructions. I don't even know what those mean, to be honest. But we can run it. Some of these are just prompts I found that I thought created pretty cool pictures with some of the older models. So I figured I'd try them here for you guys and see how they go. Oh, not bad, right? It does look like a watercolor. That's actually quite good. So, you can download any of these individual images you want, which is pretty cool. You have a share link. You can flag the output if you're truly offended and you think it's offensive. You can also copy the image directly to your clipboard. Now, there's another thing you can do too, is you can edit. So I'm not somebody who's edited images much. This is totally out of my wheelhouse. I'm kind of psyched that there's these image generators because I think I like making images like for my blog posts and other things I do. But this is like a very kind of primitive way that you can move. You can edit. So when you move the brush size, the circle gets bigger that you can edit. And that's pretty much what that is. So like you click on it, and now it creates like what it calls a mask. Now here you can just describe the change. You don't have to do it manually. It's not like a drawing app or anything. I don't know. Make the lion's face and eyes look more realistic. Well, let's see what this does. I really couldn't tell you. But it will change that particular spot for you. And you can just prompt it. So it'll probably come in really handy if you were maybe making logos or something. Yeah, it may give it a little more detail. It's cool. But if you were making like a logo or something and you want to just change the colors, or you wanted to change parts of the background, I'm not entirely sure how it works at the deepest level because it's just not something I'd play with a lot. But it's definitely worth checking out. Let me see. Let's go back. I got some more here. Let's try something surreal and see how this goes. And this is a kind of a different prompting format that I found we can try out. I'm not sure it's going to like those quotes, so I'm going to get rid of those. But you're using here like style keywords to kind of focus the model on getting the result that you want in the specific style of the image, obviously. And then it's giving an image size ratio for each image. So we can see how this does. I think, again, what stands out to me is it's very beginner friendly. This is the first model, in my opinion, where you can get super high quality images quite easily. Okay. Yeah, I guess, right? Surreal landscape. I mean, actually, geometric shapes, abstract patterns. Right. Sure. Okay. Okay. We have more, right? So we can check them out. Pretty similar. Pretty similar. Is that a person there? Oh, that's interesting. Sometimes it'll just throw things in. That one's kind of, I think, probably the best in my opinion. It's got a little more going on. It's kind of cool, although there are trees just floating in the universe. So this would be one where you could really mess around, right? You could change the types of colors. You could add creatures, although it didn't seem to listen to that very well. You could change it from spiral to a different shape, portraits, landscapes, so on. So you can do a lot. These drop downs can be quite cool. Let me see. How about, let's see what I can do with something like this. We do a couple more of these and then we can wrap up. Definitely interested in knowing what you guys think. If you like the video at all, I can take it. I prefer constructive criticism. Really doing this more in a way to reach out, hopefully get conversations going, maybe meet some people someday. I don't know. But I've wanted to get involved with social media for a long time, but I have to admit it's been kind of a little scary for whatever reason. This is quite cool. But yeah, to finish that thought, I don't know, right? It's kind of intimidating being in front of a camera. It's not something I do normally. I do video conference a lot, but don't we all? Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to be natural, right? Not be fake, not play a character or anything. That's just not me. So yeah, we'll see, right? You got to keep doing it to get people to notice what you got going on. That's neat. That's pretty. I like that one. Okay. Right? Majestic beauty, towering mountains, sunset. I mean, that's gorgeous. Let's just like show you a logo here. Business that selling model airplane parts and drones. The name of the business is Fly by Night. Let's try something like that. Let's go for it. And we'll see how it goes. It does rearrange. I kind of automatically rearranging the prompt to kind of optimize it for you, which is quite cool. There you go. It got that kind of wrong. I didn't spell it wrong, but I wanted to show you this because in general, it's getting the text right. That's super cool. That hasn't been the case with any other language model I'm aware of. You can, if you're really good with your prompts and you get a little lucky, I think you can get it done with Dolly 3, maybe some of the Mid-Journey stuff. Again, I'm not a super pro with text to image. I know more about other types of AI that I use more often, like coding and writing and that sort of deal. But business stuff. But yeah, there you go. Got it right here. You know, so you're getting options. I mean, it's super cool. It's throwing some random stuff in there and established. You could probably add, if you gave it more direction, it would probably get that right and get the year right. Right. Tagline here. It's trying to tell you. That one's actually not bad. But, for a quick downloadable, it's easy to use. You own it. As far as I know, it's your prompt. I mean, I don't know. I think that's pretty awesome. You can't use names, definitely. It doesn't even matter if it's famous. I think, like, let's see, in the style of, like, I don't even think it'll take this. Let's just do a quick experiment. Right. If you put a proper name, you get this. There doesn't seem to be anything here. Try a different prompt and check out our content policies here. When you see that, that's why. It doesn't seem as clear. It's like there doesn't seem to be anything here. It doesn't come out and say it, but it's because of this that I've definitely learned. If I take that out, of course, I'd be back to the original prompt. And this really bugs me sometimes. There we go. And obviously we know that works. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks for watching. If you have any ideas about, like I said, what I can do better, want to see a video about the music stuff, I can show that, or certainly any other AI related stuff. I'm pretty into that and work with it every day. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to talk about different things on the channel that I enjoy and that I'm into as a way to just get going and then kind of see what happens. So hopefully you'll be there with me.